undoubtedly is the most powerful lineup of the day. Formula Libre, as the name suggests, is anything goes, and we really have a tremendous collection of cars. Tony Trimmer in the Formula 5000 Lola T330. There he is, a tremendous driver who has raced in Formula 1. He's been the British Formula 3 Championship. He's won the Monaco Formula 3 race, and alongside him is a Paca Formula 1 Grand Prix car belonging to Rob Cox, who leads the British Formula Libre Championship, and that's the car that Philip Alliot used to race. Then we have Richard Fuller on the second row of the grid, and that's a Formula 3000 Lola. And the rest is made up with Formula 2 cars, Formula Atlantic cars, a Vauxhall Lotus car, some very interesting Formula 3 machinery from across the water. And there is the lineup for this 25-lap spectacular. But the one thing that we're really going to be looking at in this one is the clock. And that is because there is a very strong possibility that the lap record set by Martin Donnelly, who celebrates this weekend the announcement that he will drive for Team Lotus next year, the lap record of 52.3 seconds could well go, and the most likely man is Tony Trimmer there, number 4. Away they go, 600 brake horsepower heading towards Donegal corner. Trimmer makes a superb start. Cox is in second place and outbreaks him, but nearly goes a little bit far. There's Arnie Black in fourth place and the Crosley 19F, and already these really powerful machines are well ahead of the field.
Yes, Trimmer, an excellent pilot. He did a 53 seconds dead this morning, but the weather was overcast and cold, and he needs a little bit of heat out there to make these tires work. Now, can he do anything about this lap record of Martin Donnelly's? But let's not forget the second place man, a 53.97. Not as much experience around Mondello as Tony Trimmer. The battle there for third place between Richard Fuller and Arnie Black in the beautiful Crosley, the ex-Ken Files Crosley, raced here in 1970. And Black is beginning to push this 3-litre car really hard, and it's a little 1600 BDA, 1600cc car that he has. Trimmer roars by the start and finish. Watch this man at work. It's got all the torque that's needed to break this lap record. It's got those huge big sticky Avon tires on the back of it, which gives it the grip, and already he's beginning to pull out a slight lead over Rob Cox in the Formula 1 car. Now, Trimmer may just go for that quick lap in the first 4 or 5 laps and then settle down. It's a long way. It's a 25-lap race, and they've got to preserve their tires after that.
So you can see his very late entry into lines. This is, of course, the big V8 engine, the big American stock block engine, a very different note indeed, the low rumble of the Formula 5000, as opposed to the shrill of the Formula 1 car in second place. The ex-Philip Alliot car raced last year in Formula 1, but it's Trimmer we're watching at the moment, and indeed the stopwatches. That will be his first flying lap. Tony Trimmer then. Tires now coming up to temperature, coming in very late down the back straight, and what a handful this big car is. Quite soft suspension compared to a modern day Formula 1 car. Huge big rear wing, and he's off! Trimmer's off on the outside of Budweiser. He was going very wide there the previous lap, and he went 2 wheels onto the grass that time, so cancel that lap.
Well, that is the danger when you're really trying and the tires haven't really warmed up. Let's hope, unlike the last day, that he doesn't get a puncture. Let's have a look and see what really happened there. He's coming in, he's just turning in, and he just turns in that a little bit too early. Gets it a little sideways in there. He's got to hold the car all together because it's a double apex bend. He's heading for the grass, puts that back wheel on the grass, and this is the masterful driving of Trimmer. That grey stuff in the background is gravel. If he makes that, he won't get out of that.
Tony Trimmer now in amongst the back markers on his 6th lap of this 25-lap race. So the chances of an outright lap record now beginning to fade a little bit because the traffic's not going to help, and possibly the tires will have been going off their best. He hoped to do it in the first 5 laps if he was going to do it. Down he comes, 58 is Brian Ayres from Somerset in a Formula 3 rod, but he just gobbles up on the straight. Absolutely devours at power.
That was slightly dangerous. Ayres looking in the wrong mirror, looking at the right-hand side for Trimmer as he came down the left-hand side. These slower cars are going to have to be very, very, very careful, because to give you an idea that some of them were over 10 seconds a lap slower than this man, Tony Trimmer, in the Lola 330. And there he goes on the way out of Budweiser.
So there's the Formula 2 car of Arnie Black that's just been lapped by this man, Tony Trimmer. And he is on his 13th lap of this 25-lap Formula Libre race. He will almost certainly be taking home with him £500 from Mobil for the fastest man around Mondello this weekend. But whether he can take the £1,500 for getting the lap record as well is highly debatable at this stage. He's lapping on the last lap there, 54.95. It's 52.3 that we want to see, and I think possibly the chances are blown now with traffic in the way, and indeed the tyres probably gone off a little bit. And he's coming up now to lap third place, man, and that just shows you of the speed that Tony Trimmer is going at. Richard Fuller is ahead of him in the Formula 3000 Lola, the yellow and green car that you can see there. Richard Fuller from Surrey. It's a T87. It's got about 450 brake horsepower compared to the 600 of the Chevy.
There's another one in front. It's number 64. Martin is just in front, so Fuller, if he moves, might push Trimmer off the track. He does. He pushes him right out on the dirt and closes the door on him. That was very, very bad driving there by Fuller, not watching his mirrors, but Trimmer now alongside him as they go down the straight. Highly dangerous manoeuvre. Martin held his line. What happened was that Fuller, coming up beside him, not watching his mirrors. There he goes, Trimmer, through telecom again, safely through, but only just.
It just goes to show you're never safe in motor racing, because he's so far ahead of the opposition. It's Brian Cox still in second place and Richard Fuller in third. And here we see the problem. Richard Fuller is concentrating on the back marker ahead, which is the Formula Vauxhall Lotus, and he comes out, doesn't see the leader coming up on him in his mirrors, and Trimmer is forced right onto the grass, but was probably half anticipating that situation.
Well, he could see the one in front.
Looking at second place, man, they're about to be passed by the leader. And this is on lap 17 of the 25-lap race, and Trimmer is about to lap the field. And that's a dramatic moment indeed, the rather ancient Formula 5000 lapping a state-of-the-art Formula 1 car there, been driven by Rob Cox.
Unfortunately, Cox got very bad, caught up in the traffic. He's back doing 58s, but he was in the 59s and 60s, badly caught in the traffic. Trimmer having a look at the inside. Cox moves over and thinks, now, where did he come from? I was following him, and now I'm following him again, but he's just lapped me. But let's see, can Cox hang in behind him? He's really got the power down the straight, but can't really get the power down on the corners. Trimmer has the power of that big V8, really pushes it down. Trimmer through the left-hander of their side. Two back markers in the way. Down the inside he'll go. Hokes up there, watching in their mirrors. The one guy does, closes over on him. 59 there, Alan Lawrence, just closing over a little bit on Tony Trimmer. We saw the incident before with Fuller. They can't afford it. That's another one that's about to be passed. Another of the Ralphs. Trimmer very wide at the S's this time. Lapping in the 54s, a long way from the 52.3 that we need. Trimmer through Mobil, through the right hand, the second part of the S's, on the way up to Dunlop Hairpin. Down into second gear as he flicks the tail out, trying to keep that car as straight as possible. We're going to have a look at that manoeuvre now as he comes up the hill to Dunlop. Trimmer, the second of these cars, has a look. Cox laid on the brake, and Trimmer moves nicely on the brake and just slips to the inside of the corner. Puts the power here now, gets the tail out slightly, and just pulls away from Cox.
5 laps to go, and Tony Trimmer crests the brow before Dunlop. He's lapping at the moment in about the 55-56 mark. So the chances of him breaking the lap record now are virtually gone. But he is certainly dominating this race, absolutely, in the Lola T330 from start to finish. Made a perfect copybook start. and has really been out there ahead all the time. Two slight mistakes though. One when he got into trouble down at this corner early on in the race and got right out 2 wheels on the grass just about there, and the other when he was lapping the third place man, Richard Fuller, and got forced onto the grass by him when he in turn was lapping one of the Formula 3s. This is one of the problems that he's had throughout, coming up on the back markers. This is probably for the third time in this case, and there he is, the third of those 3 cars.
Yes, coming in there now just behind Brian Ayres as they come out, as they come down the straight. Trimmer goes to the left at the first one, then he's got to dive out past this guy. Martin again hits the bump there. He's out on the good braking area, but that just shows you he's got to take one on one side, one on the other, because these 2 guys are still racing for their position in the race, and where they'll move out of the way for Trimmer, they don't have to make it that easy as long as they leave him a line through. But back down, 3 laps to go, and this is where he nearly did it. No mistakes this time. In fact, that lap, it looked as if he just didn't get it into second gear to get it slowed down. And we're waiting for the back markers as they get by there. Trimmer on his way down to the S is taking a wide line there. Shirley's just a quick gear change there. Flick of the head, using all the carb there as they come up the hill. Maybe he's having a go this time. He hasn't had as clear a lap as this for a long time.
No, absolutely clear straight ahead of him now. But you can see as the power goes down, the tail coming out, and the velocity of that motor car as he goes down. He's done a 53.85. That's about his quickest lap for a long time here this afternoon. 53.85 on that last lap. So Trimmer's got a clear lap ahead of him now. It's definitely a moment to start getting excited about.
Yes, he's had a clear lap. Maybe he's been saving it, keeping it nice and easy, let everything cool down, and that is a thing that he will do. He would take 3 or 4 slow laps to see if he can get the tires cooled down a bit. Well, at 53.85 that time, he's getting it out very wide. He's really trying this, and we will know by the antiques of them on the second part of the S's at Noble whether he's trying. He's really trying. He's chucking it about. This is the last one. We wait to see how he gets this. He's got to keep that tail in as straight as possible and all the way down. And I think that was a pure clear lap, Alan.
Absolutely clear, and looked a very neat lap indeed. We're just waiting now for the computer to tell us what time he's done it in. He's still going. He certainly hasn't eased off any on this next lap either. It's 52.3. We're absolutely straining our eyes to try and find out. He's absolutely on the ragged edge now. This could be an even quicker one than the last, and it's still pretty clear. 54.12. Not, in fact, as quick as the previous one, but he's certainly going for something here.
Yes, it's a slow and a quick one. He's got to get himself lined up. If he feels he's made a mess of the corner, there's no use in scrubbing off the tires. He's got to get this absolute perfect lap together to get down in the 52.3s, and that's what he's got to do. And Trimmer right out on the curbs. The checkered flag is waiting for him. Will his last lap be his best lap? He's coming out of Dunlop for the last time now. The checkered flag prepared, and Trimmer
wins by over a lap. But that is only relative, by 2 laps in fact. It's sensational domination over Rob Cox, who...
Yes, Trimmer, Cox and Fuller, that's the way it finished there. Well, we still have 1 race to go here at Mondello.